Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning in again. Today I wanted to do a quick introduction before we do our practice today because it's a practice that's near and dear to my heart. We're going to be doing a practice today specifically for anxiety. I love working with the emotions of anxiety and depression because the two kind of go hand in hand. But also I like to talk about emotions in a broader perspective. Yoga can be profoundly healing and transformative when it comes to dealing with our emotions. The first and foremost thing that's important to know is that these emotions are not bad. These are emotions that everybody experiences, and we all struggle to deal with them from time to time in varying degrees. I think our mental health community really needs that additional support, and we need to continue to talk about it. I myself struggle with anxiety and depression, and have had situations throughout my life where it's been pretty profound. But I have found that yoga has been a very wonderful tool in my toolbox to help manage this. And here's why. From a yogic perspective, emotions are simply energy in motion. Emotion equals energy in motion. So if we think about it in that way, we can start looking at our emotions from a completely different perspective. Yes, there's the thought component. Our thoughts can create a lot of suffering, and that's a topic for another workshop. But if we look at it from an energetic perspective, we can start to get a handle on these things and actually transform these emotions into something that serves us a little bit better. So let's look at anxiety for a moment. When we look at the energy of anxiety, we think about what happens in our heads. First off, there's a lot of spinning thoughts. It ramps us up. Our heart rate begins to race. Sometimes you might find that people assume a specific kind of posture when they're anxious. They tend to stick their neck out and they have these hard eyes because they're on alert. We're scared. What's going to show up? So there's a lot of neck tension that happens when it comes to anxiety as well. From a yogic perspective, anxiety is related to the energy pathway or the energy movement of Vijnana. Vijnana energy is just one of 5 different pathways. In other words, 5 different ways that energy moves. Vijnana energy is outward. It's expansive, it circulates, it's associated with the element of wind, air. If you think about that, when it's really windy outside, that can be nature's way of showing its anxiety. Lots of stuff is blowing around, it can be chaotic, it kicks up a lot of debris, right? So that's Vijnana energy, and that's associated with anxiety. So we can see that anxiety is Vijnana energy. So if we start to look at it this way, then we want to look at, well, how do we calm that energy? How do we bring that back to center? So we look at some of the other energy pathways. The exact opposite of Vijnana energy, which is expansive and outward, is Apana energy, which is grounding, getting close to the earth, slow, methodical movements, okay? Going within. Forward folds, for example, have a lot of Apana energy and can calm the nervous system right down. Okay, we think about that when we get really close to the earth and we're moving a little bit slower based on the earth element. That's very calming and soothing, right? So when we're experiencing anxiety and there's a lot of Vijnana energy going out, the last thing we need to do is do things that stimulate our energy, including drinking caffeinated drinks like coffee. Sorry, that's not going to help the situation. What needs to happen is we need to slow way down. We need to focus on our breathing, and we need to get close to the earth, okay? Forward folding can be extremely beneficial. So we're going to work with that energy today. We're also going to work with Samana energy. Samana energy is right here at the core. It has to do with centering. So all those abdominal exercises that none of us like to do, that helps us to come back to center and really focus on our strength, our inner strength, okay? So twists, core work, those kinds of things can be very powerful in helping us to get back to our center. So those are the key pieces that I want you to take away from this video today, is that when working with emotions, number 1, emotions are simply energy in motion. That's it. That's it. So once we start to recognize that, we can look at the quality of the emotion that we're experiencing, the quality of the energy, and then we can use energetic tools in our yoga practice to transform that energy to bring us back to a calm center. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be keeping it close to earth. We're going to be working on some core, working on our breathing, working on lengthening the neck and getting rid of some of that tension. And we're going to bring ourselves back to a state of peace. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Yoga for Anxiety and for Stress Release. We're going to be keeping things close to the ground, slow methodical movements, and focusing on forward folds to help relax the nervous system. Everybody experiences fear, but I want you to just remember that it's all energy. And there is a light within you that is beyond all pain and suffering and all fear. So let's find a nice, comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. You can choose to sit under a blanket, lift the hips. And as you begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, consciously relax the breath. Every inhale, the belly becomes full and soft. Every exhale, the shoulders relax a little more deeply, emptying the body of the breath. For our purposes today, we're going to be focusing on the exhale, making the exhale longer than the inhale, and really working on emptying the body of the breath. So feel that. Feel that as you elongate that exhale, that you drop deeper into the earth, deeper into the sacred and safe place of your own heart. Letting go of any expectations or judgment and allowing ourselves to breathe and feel. Good. One more deep breath in. And exhaling, releasing. Good. From here we're going to just come into a nice Kriya. It's a cleansing technique, Kundalini technique, where we're just going to be opening up the spine. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to start by inhaling and drawing the heart forward, shoulders back, and then we're going to make a circle. We're going to go to the right, and then draw that heart inward, and then out the back side. Good. Nice, easy circles. Be careful not to let both hip bones roll up off the mat. Stay plugged into the earth. Good. Breathing deeply. Inhale as the heart comes forward. Exhale as we draw the heart in. One more round. Bring the heart forward. Inhale. Exhale. Pause here. And then we're going to switch directions. Inhale, drawing forward and circling to the left. Drawing inward, inhaling open. Good, feeling that we're spiraling up from the base of the spine, but deeply rooted into the earth here. Good, one more round. And then inhale, drawing it forward. And back to a comfortable seated neutral position. Good. Now focusing on that core work we talked about before, we're going to come into the 6 directions of the spine. So first we're going to come into a seated cat and cow. We're going to inhale, draw the heart forward, shoulders draw back as we look up, and exhale, round the spine, drawing the navel center in. Good, continuing, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let it feel good, like you're massaging the spine. Shoulders relax away from the ears. And draw that navel in, like you're drawing in your power. Inhale. Exhaling. Good, coming back to a neutral spine. Now we're going to stretch up and open through the sides of the rib cage. So with the arms out to the sides, we're going to inhale, lifting that right arm up, shoulder relaxes down, and extend over to the side. So as we reach with that right arm, press down with the right hip. Good. And inhaling. Bring the opposite arm up and over. Good. Inhaling all the way through the movement. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Moving at your own pace, but really feeling that stretch from the hip all the way out through the fingertips. Good. Last one. Inhaling. And exhaling, coming back up to center. Now we're going to tap into that core once again, coming into a gentle twist. Focusing on the exhale to draw us into the twist even further. So we're going to inhale, reaching both arms up. Exhaling, twisting to the left. One hand rests in front, the other behind. Spiraling, draw that spine into the body. as you lift up through the crown of the head, and tuck the chin a little bit here. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Continuing. On each exhale, let it be a nice long exhale. And imagine that you're wringing yourself out of all that emotional and physical tension that no longer serves you. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Let's come back to center. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing the arms down by the sides. Now we're going to swing those legs out and around behind us, coming into all fours position so that we can do cat and cow. So hands are spread out wide underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We can also choose fists for wrists if we're taking care of our wrists here. So let's begin a little bit deeper now. Inhaling, drawing the heart forward, tailbone lifts up and back. And exhale, really rounding the spine. Press into the earth as you draw the navel center in. Good. Inhaling. And exhaling. Continuing at your own pace. Lengthening the spine and exhale, emptying all the air out. Good. One more round at your own pace. Let's take a deep inhale forward. And then on the exhale, we're going to round the spine, pressing back into child's pose. Here we can widen the knees. We can extend the arms out, resting the forehead on the floor, or we can stack the fists under the forehead. Likewise, we can also come up onto the forearms if that feels a little bit better. Wherever you choose to be, let it be relaxing. This is the most relaxing and beneficial yoga pose for calming our nerves. It's going within. So just invite yourself to go deep within and breathe. Spread that rib cage wide apart. Stay there in child's pose as long as you need to. This might be your whole practice. That is what self-care is all about. That's what yoga is all about, is self-discovery. Listening so intently to our bodies that we know that maybe we need to stay in child's pose for a while. Or at any point in our practice, we can come back to child's pose. Give yourself that gift. Breathe in fully. Exhale, surrender to the support of the earth. Now from here, we're going to inhale and come back up to all fours. So oftentimes with anxiety, our hip flexors become tight because that's our pain reflex, right? Whenever we're experiencing pain or a threat, we just want to curl up into a ball, right? So these muscles become tight. So in order to kind of move that energy out of the body, we need to open up the hips just a little bit. So from here, we're going to come into all fours. First, we're going to strengthen the core by coming into spinal balance. So looking straight down, okay, to elongate the back of the neck. We're going to inhale and extend that left arm straight out. We can choose to stay here or lift that opposite leg back. Good. So right arm out, left foot back. Exhale, slowly coming back to center. And again, matching movement with breath. Inhale, extend, draw the navel center in firmly. Exhale, releasing. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Thinking about really slow movements. Mindfully extending and strengthening the core. Good. Let's do one more on each side. Excellent. Now from here, we're going to open up the hips a little bit more. We're going to take that right foot, flexing it, we're going to press it straight up to the sky. Good. And now from here, we're going to exhale, draw that knee into the center, rounding the spine. Again, inhaling, pressing up. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, pressing that foot up to the sky. Now this time we're going to bring that foot all the way through, coming into a kneeling lunge. So the knee is right over the ankle here, okay? Curling the back toes in. Now we can choose to stay here or bringing the hands up onto the thigh. So once we're here, we're going to tuck that tailbone just a little bit. You're going to feel a very strong stretch in the front of that thigh, okay? So we're going to begin to rock with the pelvis here. And again, lengthening out through the hip flexor and the back of the leg. So we're going to inhale, press the hips forward, arms extend. Exhale, bring the arms out wide and pull the hips back as we roll onto the front heel. Good. It doesn't matter how much the knee bends, that's okay. We're still getting a stretch here, but keep the heart lengthening towards the toes. Good. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, diving forward. So again, it's that forward fold that's calming the nervous system here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good. Stay here, breathe. Tuck the chin a little bit, but keep the heart moving towards the toes. Good. And then inhale, coming forward into the lunge and holding here. You might turn the back toes down. Choose to keep the hands on the floor or bring the hands to the thigh. Or if you want a little bit more opening in that hip, reaching. It's like a kneeling warrior one. We're going to stay here and breathe. Relax the face and the jaw. Tuck the chin. Breathe deeply into the strength of your own body. And exhale, releasing. Coming back to all fours. And then back to child's pose. Beautiful. Now from here, inhaling, coming forward to all fours. Once again, we're going to do that same sequence on the other side. So we're going to take that left foot, flexing, pressing it up to the sky. Exhaling, rounding the spine, drawing the knee to chest. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And this time, bring that foot all the way forward, coming into the kneeling lunge. Help it up if you need to. Again, hands can stay here, or we can bring them up onto the thigh. If we're here, we're going to open up that hip flexor on the right side. So we're going to tuck the tailbone down just a little bit, and then begin to press the hips forward. Good. Okay. And then we're going to add that little flow here. So we're going to inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, swan diving as we pull the hips back, rolling onto the front heel. Good. Continuing nice and slow. Moving closely to the earth. Honoring the slow movements that calm everything down. When you breathe slowly, your movement slows, your heart rate slows, and your nervous system begins to slow down. So you have the power to impact all of that through your breath. Good. One more time. And exhale. Good. From here, inhaling, or we're going to stay right here. Tuck that chin. Breathe deeply. Imagine that on each exhale, as you extend that exhale, you extend your spine. Maybe you don't physically, but imagine, visualize that. Good. Then from here, we're going to inhale, drawing forward into that kneeling warrior one, flattening the back foot and choosing to keep the hands on the floor or hands to the thigh or one or both arms. Tuck that chin a little bit, drop the shoulders, breathe. Good, and exhale, releasing the hands to the earth. Let's come back to all fours and back to child's pose. Again, the arms can be extended, fists can be stacked, or if you like, you can also wrap the arms around, resting your forehead here. Inhaling, coming back up to all fours. And then from here, we're going to just come into a kneeling version of forward folding. So we're going to inhale, rising up, reaching up, and then exhale, swan diving right back into child's pose. Inhaling, rising up, pressing the hips forward. Exhale, diving inward into the sacred calm of your heart. Inhaling. And this time, exhale, stay up on the knees, curl the toes under, and we're going to come into chest expansion, opening up the chest and shoulders. Now you can choose to grab onto the forearms or clasp the hands together, rolling the shoulders down and back. Keep the tailbone pressing forward and tuck the chin just a little bit. Lengthen out through the back of the neck, drawing the shoulders down. Breathe fully. Excellent. And release the arms. Good. Now we're going to come back to all fours. We're going to come into thread the needle pose. This is great for stretching out through the shoulders and the upper back, which is where anxiety likes to hide. A lot of tension hangs out there. So we're going to take that right arm and we're going to reach it up as far as we can, and then we're going to thread that hand right underneath the left hand and drop the right shoulder down. So reach with that right hand, press down with the left shoulder. Good. Breathing fully here. Enjoy the stretch. Imagine with each exhale you're letting go of all of that physical and emotional tension. Good, and inhaling, pressing back up. And do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches, and then exhale, threading it underneath, dropping the shoulder. Good. Inhaling, slowly coming back up. Now from here, we're going to open up through the shoulders a little bit more, coming into puppy dog or downward facing dog. Puppy dog, we're going to keep the hips right above the knees, and we're going to walk the hands out and let that spine draw into the body, opening up the shoulders. Press actively into the hands. Okay, forehead can rest on the floor. Or if we're coming into downward facing dog, let's come into a full plank pose, which is accessing that strength in the core. Okay, and then we're going to push up into that upside down V with the body. You can bend the knees here, but keep the spine moving back into the body. And you can begin to pedal the heels here, one at a time, nice and slow, matching the movement with the breath. Good. Pressing both heels towards the earth, pressing the hands into the earth, and then inhale, coming back down, and we're going to lay all the way down onto the floor. Stacking the hands and resting the forehead here. Breathe deeply right where you are. Feel close to the earth. Feel that stability. Feel that support, and know that the universe, this life, is here to support you in all ways. You can also choose to stay here for as long as you like. But from here, if we're choosing to move on, we're going to bring the hands right next to the rib cage, pressing ourselves up, and we're going to swing those legs out and around in front, coming into a seated position. Okay? Remember, we talked about how one of the most calming things you can do when you're feeling anxious is forward folding. So we're going to pull the fleshy part of the seat out from underneath, sitting in staff pose. First, by drawing the shoulders down, Shoulders down and tucking the chin. Again, the tucking of the chin isn't over-exaggerated, but when we're talking about anxiety, the chin tends to stick out. We've got a lot of tension in the back of the neck, so we want to really draw that chin in and lengthen. It'll feel really good, trust me. Now from here, we're going to come into a nice gentle forward fold. So we're going to inhale, reaching the arms skyward. Leading with the heart, we're going to exhale, draw the heart forward and let the hands drop wherever they may. Here's where it's especially important not to jut the chin out. Tuck the chin and look down. Let yourself relax into the posture. Now focus on the exhale here. In fact, you can even count, inhaling for a count of 4 and then exhaling for a count of 6 or 8. And notice that when we elongate the exhale, it's called langasan in yoga, it's a lengthening, it is a deepening of the pose, and elongating that exhale is one of the most healing things you can do, especially for anxiety. Stay with it. Breathe into it. If anxiety is just like any other emotion in terms of its being an energy quality, energy is constantly moving and shifting. So if we learn to stay with it, just stay present to it, rather than resisting it or trying to fight it, we find that it begins to transform. Now from here, we're going to come into one-legged forward fold. So we're going to bring that right knee in and open out to the side. Bringing the navel center to draw towards the toes. Inhaling the arms up just like we did. Exhale, offer the heart forward. Let the arms rest wherever they want to. You'll feel a nice stretch across the lower back. And of course in the back of the leg. Come back to that elongated exhale. And inhaling, slowly drawing back up and lifting the knee and extending that outward. Good. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Drawing the left knee in, foot open, turning the navel center towards the toes as we inhale and exhale. Slowly drawing the navel center up, spine up, bring that knee up and extend that outward. Good. Now from here, We're going to draw the soles of the feet together, coming into butterfly. We can choose to keep the hands behind the hips to lift the spine, or we can bring the hands to the ankles as we gently lift up and exhale, bowing inward, bowing down to that sacred, safe space right at the center of our being. Drawing the knees in, and then we're going to come to lay back onto our backs. Pausing here for a moment and just checking in with the breath. Now from here, we're going to come into one of my favorite postures that is great for anxiety because it really releases out all of this tension in the back of the neck. We're coming into bridge pose. So we're going to bring the feet about hip distance apart, heels close to the buttocks, rolling the shoulders down and back, okay, so that we're pressing the arms into the earth. And there should be space between the mat and the back of the neck here. Good. So now from here, we're going to inhale and press into the feet, rolling their shoulders underneath. And you can already start to feel this really elongates the back of the neck. It's almost like we're really tucking that chin, breathing into that heart space. Full deep breaths. Pressing into the back of the arms, knowing your strength. Good. And slowly exhaling, drawing back down, one vertebrae at a time, until we come back down to rest in the full support of the earth. Good. Before we come into final relaxation, we're going to do just a little bit more of the toning and centering here. We're going to bring those knees into the center. And then from here, we're going to inhale, extend the arms and the feet up. And then as we draw the knees into the chest, we're going to exhale and peel the shoulder blades off the mat. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale, really going within. Exhale all the air out. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Then inhaling, just simply relaxing back onto the earth. And then from here, we're going to roll over onto one side and gently sit up, as I'm going to teach you a calming breath work meditation, pranayama. So first, just come to a nice, comfortable seated position. So this next pranayama or breathwork technique we're going to do is meant to calm the nervous system. We know that the nervous system has two different sides. There's the fight or flight, and there's the rest and digest. So there's the belief system in yoga that the right side is masculine, fiery, and has to do with fight or flight. The left side has to do with calming, lunar energy, relaxing. So the key here is to breathe in through the left nostril and out through the right. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand, first two fingers, right here in between the eyebrows at that third eye. We're going to take the thumb and press that right nostril closed. Inhale through the left nostril. And then at the top, block off the left nostril and exhale out the right. Good. Do it again. Inhale the right nostril. And exhale out the right. Inhale through the left nostril. And exhale out the right. Good. Continue as you close your eyes here. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Continue with this gentle breathing. Feel that cool lunar quality of the breath. Feel all of your cares begin to float away on the exhale. You may choose to stay here as long as you wish. Otherwise, you may slowly release the hand and sit and breathe through both nostrils, just noticing the quality of your energy at this point. Feel the serenity as it washes over you. Now, you can choose to stay here. Or our next option is to come into Shavasana, lying down and focusing on our breathing. Inhaling for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 6 or 8. But another option that I would like to offer you is legs up the wall. Very profoundly healing. So what we're going to do is find a wall space, and you're going to sit as close to the wall as you can with your hip. Okay? And then all you're going to do is you're going to lean back and slide those legs right up the wall. Okay? You're just going to stay here. So this would be like a Shavasana alternative. It's very healing because it allows all of that blood to flow effortlessly back to nourishing your heart. It reduces swelling and very calming for the nervous system. You can also choose to bring the legs wide if that feels good, or even into reclining butterfly. I personally like extended all the way up. So closing the eyes here and coming back to your breathing. Imagine that that lunar nectar is dripping down your toes, down the legs, and cooling your furrowed brow, washing away all of your cares as you stay here as long as you like, resting in the serenity of your own heart.